Hello there, my name is David and this is the DJS Sports Show, and today we'll be talking about Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari. Now, before we start about the topic, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. Now let's begin. Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion for Formula One. He currently drives for Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1. Now, in 2025, he'll be heading to Ferrari next year. Now, this is going to be an interesting move because of the simple factor of Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari when his hero never got to, because the season that Ayrton Senna died was the year after he was supposed to join Ferrari. Now, Lewis Hamilton will be going to Ferrari, most likely to join Charles Leclerc. But what does this mean for Mercedes and the future of their team and, the teammate for George Russell? Because I think now this is going to be the season where George Russell is really going to have to prove that he can be the leader for the team, take over for Lewis Hamilton before another hotshot rookie comes into that seat that gains experience in F1, and that's probably going to be Kimi Antonelli, who is currently right now in his first season F2 that is going to begin in a couple months. But the interesting factor is there's a couple names that could be teammates for George Russell when it comes to next year's Formula One season, and the most likely option, I'm going to say in my opinion, is that it's going to be a guy that can get the best out of the Mercedes car, a guy that has truly deserved to be in a top ride, contend for a championship, contend for wins, hasn't won since 2012. I'm going to say that my prediction for George Russell's teammate in 2025 is going to be the two-time world champion, the 44-year-old Fernando Alonso. Yes, you heard me. And you're probably like, oh, Dave, you're kind of biased because Fernando's my favorite driver. I mean, is there anything that you guys can disagree with when it comes to me saying Fernando should be in that seat? He's proven that he can be still in the top right and contend for wins. Look at what he did in the first half of the season for the Aston Martin. He was up there battling for podiums, battling for second places, he was even leading at certain points. Put him in a Mercedes that's close to the top ride. Oh, I don't even want to know. The last time we see Fernando Alonso in the top rides when he was with Ferrari, and look what he did for Ferrari in the first couple of seasons. He was winning races, contending for championships, and then the cars all of a sudden went down. Fernando Alonso will, if he decides to go to Mercedes, he will be at Mercedes for at least 2 to 3 seasons. Fernando Alonso will go until he doesn't feel comfortable or feel his body is not up to the challenge to continue in F1. By that point, the rookie Kimi Antonelli will probably have joined a team like Williams, spent at least a season or two getting more F1 experience, and then he'll be ready to be alongside George Russell. And then for the future, past 2026, past 2027, the Mercedes team will be George Russell and the rookie Kimi Antonelli. Now, this is going to be my personal preference because Fernando Alonso, compared to everyone else that can possibly join that seat, even Carlos Sainz, his Spaniard compatriot, he can get the best out of the car. Look at what he's done with not only the Aston Martin, the Alpine, the McLaren Honda when he was in it, even though he said that car was garbage. He was getting the best out of all three of those cars. He had a horrible teammate, Esteban Ocon. Lance Stroll's not good. Fernando Alonso absolutely destroyed Lance Stroll last season. So it's time for Fernando Alonso to get a true challenge, someone that can be a team player, because look at what he's doing right now for Aston Martin. Even though he does have a contract, I believe, until 2026, he can definitely get out of the contract. We just saw Lewis Hamilton get out of his contract, so Fernando Alonso can get out of his contract. And I think when it comes to the 2025 season, the guy that will be driving for Mercedes alongside George Russell is going to be the number 14 car of Fernando Alonso.